already, okay? Okay, cut.
That's better. That's much.
Oh God, it stinks. Oh fuck. Compartmentalize. Compartmentalize. Well, no, you're an anatomy and physiology witchy lab assistant. Alright, so out here we can see that this brain is still covered in its meninges. So this is Dura matter here, and it's the tough mother of the brain that's offering the most protection. So we can pull that back, and deep to the Dura matter is our arachnoid matter, and you can kind of see some of these wispy spiderweb-like extensions in there. And if you can't, then look at your other lab stuff. Right here's pia mater, pia mater. It hugs tightly into the brain. Do you see that? It's like this nice, fibrous, delicate tissue. It's bringing in all those blood vessels that serve the brain. Look at that. See how delicate it is? It just pulls right off. All right, so I'm going to peel this away. I'm going to dig in here into this sheep brain. Oh, yeah. So the thing about it is, if you're super delicate, you can keep your pituitary gland attached to the infundibulum, which most of you guys probably wouldn't be super delicate. And watch now, because I'm talking schmack, I'm not going to be either. We'll see. So look how tough that Dura matter is. So fibrous connective tissue is so strong. It's just like awesome. So yeah, this is what's touching your brain. The periosteal layer is what's in contact with your skull, and then the meningeal layer is in contact with the arachnoid layer. Oh, look there. Oh, do you see all that wispy, spiderwebby stuff? That's your arachnoid matter. And then deep to that here, all this really fine stuff, that is the pia mater. Alright, so those are your 3 layers of meninges. And if we're real careful here, again, we can cut off and we can, oh, did I mess it up yet? Okay, so see here, down here, this is your pituitary, and it is attached to your hypothalamus by this tiny little stalk called the infundibulum. So the big challenge is to get all this Dura matter off of there without popping off the pituitary. Let's see if I can do it. Next time I'm in a face-to-face class, it's going to be an actual challenge. Me and my students, we're going to do it. Who can get their brain out of the Dura mater, or all of the meninges for that matter. Oh, matter? Mater. Tomato, tomato. Okay. Look at that. Oh, that's all brain stem. I wish you guys could feel this. It is so wet and juicy. I know how excited you would be to do it in your own kitchen, too. Let me tell you how excited my roommate is that I'm doing it in his kitchen, too. I can hear him in the background. He loves it! In so many different ways. Okay. Ooh! We're not going to talk about how a piece of sheep brain just flew across my kitchen floor. We're not going to talk about that. I have not yet fully separated my pituitary gland from my brain, but I might as well have. So I'm just going to let it go. So, alright, what we can see here, I'm going to pull this off. Do you see? This is the pituitary. 10 minutes are up. It's time to flip sides. Okay, so here, ew, I just flicked pituitary juice in my eye. It was great. Pituitary is the master gland. The master gland. The hypothalamus is the master controller of the endocrine system, and that's because it controls the master gland, which is the pituitary. And I'm pulling it off right here. It sits in this place called the sella turcica of the sphenoid bone, and it's attached to the hypothalamus. It's just too hard to keep on a sheep brain in your kitchen, so forgive me, people. Okay, so here we go. This innermost, like, oh, soft, fibry layer here, that's pia mater. And it tightly hugs into the brain. Okay, so what are we looking at? What do we have to see? We have to see some surface features. So the bumps here are the gyri, and the shallow dips here are the sulci, and this is your longitudinal fissure, and this is your transverse fissure. Deep grooves. Okay, what else do you need to see? I gotta cut this thing open for you to see it all. So before I cut this thing open, here are your frontal lobes. These are the parietal lobes. These are the occipital lobes. Could you even see that? Frontal lobes, parietal lobes, occipital lobes, temporal lobes, cerebellum, brainstem, medulla oblongata, very end leading into the spinal cord. So, okay, that is our intact brain and everything we can see on that. Now I gotta cut this baby open. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right down the longitudinal fissure, and we'll use our left hemisphere to look at it from the sagittal plane, and we'll use the right hemisphere to look at it from a frontal or coronal section. Oh, jeez. I must say, I'm having the hardest time suspending my disbelief in my kitchen. I've not ever had as hard a time dissecting something. Ew. Here we go. So what are things that we can see in here? It's actually pretty awesome. The brain is so cool. Okay. Alright, so darn it, I didn't even do a great cut. So, alright, frontal lobes, parietal lobes. This region here, where the two hemispheres, can you even see this, are connected, is the corpus callosum. Oh God, I'm gonna vomit. Oh, I can toughen up. Corpus callosum, the white matter where our commissural fibers go through and connect the right and left hemispheres. In here, I disrupted the septum pellucidum. This is the sinus that separates your lateral, not sinus. I'm gonna vomit. It's the tissue that separates your left and right lateral ventricles, people. I don't usually have such a hard time in class. And your lateral ventricles lead into your third ventricle. And your third ventricle leads into your cerebral aqueduct, which leads into your fourth ventricle. Okay, those are the ventricles. Okay, what do we have to see here? Pull it together! They're never gonna believe you are a professional. Maybe I'm not. I'm the lab assistant. I don't have to be professional. What else do we have to see? Diencephalon. Thalamus. Hypothalamus is down here, and we got rid of our pituitary, which is the easy way to see your hypothalamus, but your thalamus is here. And you have your inner thalamic adhesion, which is connecting the two right and left thalamus together. Your hypothalamus is down here. Pineal gland, that is back here. So on this portion of the brain, it's easier to see. Back here's the pineal, or the epithalamus. So I'm sorry that this is so hard to look at, people. It's very hard to film as well. So we'll call it lab credit. Here's your pineal gland. Here's your thalamus. Your hypothalamus is down here, and your pineal, or your pituitary was attached down here. Third ventricle, cerebral aqueduct, fourth ventricle, brainstem. So your brainstem has different parts. Stick it back together. Oh, no wonder it looks so awful. I did not get a mid-sagittal section. We would call this a parasagittal section. Okay, your midbrain is up here. The corpora quadrigemina is this part. Ew! Shh, don't tell him that I just dropped brain on the floor. Okay, that's the corpora quadrigemina of the midbrain is right here, back here. And here's the pons right here. and medulla oblongata right here, leading into the spinal cord down there. Cerebellum is right here. Ew. And I think, what else do you have to see? I don't know if you have to see anything from the cerebellum other than what they call the arbor vitae, which is all this white matter here. Arbor vitae means tree of life. So even if that's not all of the things you have to know for the sheep dissection, that's all of the things we're going to go over from the sheep dissection in my kitchen. So I'll see you soon. Or the professor will.